Hmm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a unnamed show / podcast. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh.
I'm Bryan Broaddus.
He's Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
I don't have a button for Bryan. Here's Bryan's button.
No, this is a hot dog button. I think it's a hot dog, too.
We together used to be teammates, and now we're not, but we kind of are, but we hang out together, and we talk about Cowboys football with you. How about that? By the way, this presentation brought to you by my friends at BetOnline, your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. Baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights, UFC, MMA, boxing, every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads while all games are being played. When it's over, you can go to the online casino, get some blackjack or poker in, unwind with one of the slot games. Head to the website today. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here. Now, Bryan, are you trying to get straight into Cowboys football? Because I don't want people to get mad if we don't get straight into Cowboys football now.
I'm willing to bet my questions are better than your questions today.
I got questions for you. I got Cowboy questions for you.
I got Cowboys questions for you. How about this one, Jeff?
Well, you're just going to go straight into it? What about the people who like when we D around?
Nah, man, we're cool. We're cool. We're going to jump right into this today.
Okay, two things real quick. I air fried hot dogs, and hot dogs are real good in the air fryer. And two, I had a dream last night I got fired. I don't have a job, and so I need help interpreting my dreams. But that's all I got outside of Cowboy stuff.
Okay, so you air fried hot dogs.
Yeah, I put them in the air fryer.
I see what you're doing now because you know you can draw me off sides with this talk.
No, I'm just telling. I just wanted you to know because you were upset with the microwave thing, so I didn't microwave them. I air fried them.
Yeah. And did they turn out better? Were they not rubbery and
no?
Okay.
No, you put them in the air fryer. You almost get it's almost like it came off a grill. You leave them for the right amount of time. You'll get that little discoloration, little bubbles.
Yeah,
you get it all.
There you go. I appreciate that more than the microwavable machine. Did you get a new straw or is that a new glass?
This is a new. I got a new Stanley.
Yeah. Did you buy your own? Did the lady come back and get her own?
Yeah, we found out whose it was. It was Marissa's. It was Marissa's.
Oh, Marissa.
Pink Stanley. And I got it back to her last night at trivia night.
Marissa
used to work for the Cowboys. You know Marissa.
I do. I do know Marissa. I sure do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I've learned about the air fryer is I've learned how to make crab rangoons. You know, like the Chinese. You're going to hate this because it's crab meat and it's cream cheese and it's in a wonton wrapper is what it is. And you fry them. You deep fry the crab rangoons. You never had
that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. I found that I'd have accessories for my air fryer, and so I made egg bites the other day, but I didn't want egg bites. I was just trying to figure out how to make eggs because my stovetop's out, and I probably have to replace a fuse, and I never will. But I found I have an egg bite making thing for the air fryer, and so I made egg bites, and then I just dumped them all out and scrambled them up as best I could so I could make tacos.
There you go. Well, I'm going to tell my story since you hate crab rangoons. I'm sure there's people out there that actually like crab rangoons. But I've learned, yes, there are, Jeff. There's people out there that are not 6 years old with a palate like you.
You watch your mouth when you talk to me.
Okay, I'm watching everything about you.
Okay,
I've figured this thing out.
All right,
but I figured out that the air fryer can bring things back to life.
Oh, it's a great reheater.
So if you have leftover things, the air fryer works better. I refuse to use the microwave. I'm sorry. I would rather eat something cold than put it in a microwave. That's just how I operate. But I have learned that there's people that cook steaks in these air fryers. I don't know how you do it.
I do it, yeah.
I don't know how.
I'll do it.
How do you throw it in the basket and push the button and go?
Yeah. And I wish mine went up to 450. Mine only goes to 400, so you're not going to get any sort of char. You're not going to get any, you're not going to be able to do that.
And you got all that barbecue equipment out and back, but you're just going to throw it in the air fryer?
Correct. The answer is laziness. If I were a man,
mark A for true on your Scantron, not B for false. A true for Jeff lazy.
Yeah, and I feel shame about it.
No, you don't. There's nobody that appreciates being lazy more than you. You embrace the laziness. You do. You embrace the laziness. I honestly think if they said you could stop breathing, you would. You would just stop breathing because you just want to be lazy. You don't want to breathe.
Yeah, anytime.
I think you'd shut it down. I think you would say, "Oh wait, I don't have to breathe, and I can still live."
Yeah.
You could do that. You would just go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
that would be wonderful. All right, there we go. I just successfully broke the show so that the people who hate when we D around can be mad.
You know what? I feel bad for the people that always complain about us D'ing around, but I do like the people who appreciate us D'ing around. So
yeah, shout out to the guy who tweeted earlier this morning that just said, I like when you guys D around.
Yeah, I had a guy at church tell me he listens to our program, a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
At church. And on Sunday, he said, listen, I love when you and Jeff do your podcast together. I love the fact that you guys, the first 10 minutes, mess around. So,
yeah, here's Rob on Twitter. He said, I'm here to say publicly,
yeah.
I like when time for Jeffrey and Bryan Broaddus BS for 10 to 15 minutes before kicking off the show.
Yeah.
Mixes things up, and it's fun.
I appreciate that. Very
Bryan
nice.
Broaddus of 105.3 The Fan, G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7 p.m. right there, home of the Cowboys. And Love of the Star podcast with Bobby Bell.
Yeah, Love of the Star. Jeff, with all the offseason attention, be good or bad for Micah Parsons? All the offseason attention, will this be good or bad for Micah Parsons' season?
I will say mostly irrelevant, but in the interest of not sitting on the fence,
Please
bad.
don't. I cannot stand. By
That's
the
fine.
way, please.
So I say bad. I
Yeah.
say bad. It'll be bad because
Okay, give me a ride the fence answer. So,
the riding the fence answer is this. Micah Parsons is who and what he is. Micah Parsons popped out of the birth canal ready to have double-digit sacks in the NFL for a decade.
Mom and dad, yeah.
And it's what he's going to do, and he'll do it.
Yeah.
That's who he is, and it's who he's going to be. You can't block him. The end. It's one-on-one. Micah wins. Quarterback gets hit. And that won't change based on off-season things and crap people talk about and distractions and things like that, because I think what doesn't change is that Micah individually will work hard in the offseason. He'll probably have fun and do stuff and want attention, but he'll also work hard, get better at something, and then come back ready to kick ass. That will happen. But if I have to say it's better or worse, all the attention he's getting, I'll say worse, because the other thing about Micah is that Micah is very sensitive to the things said about him.
Yeah.
And so it probably would take less to have him not in a great place in a pre or post game or in an interview session or whatever, because he hears it all. Like the fact that the Malik Hooker podcast with Keyshawn, the fact that if you have the full quotes, it's not even negative about Micah Parsons, but somebody cut it the way they cut it.
Oh, they'll cut it on you now. They will
correct.
Cut, they will cut and clip you. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Micah immediately responds to that online to a clip when it's a guy that's a teammate and I would assume friend, that he could just reach out and be like, what the hell? And he'd be like, well, there's 2 minutes before that where I was like, no, I don't care what the guy does, but he is sensitive to what is said about him. He hears it all. He reacts to it all. So no, that overall, if it had to be a good or a bad thing, it'll be a bad thing.
Let me ask you this then. And I didn't see it as a negative, but if Micah did take it as a negative, is Malik Hooker speaking for his teammates in some way?
Yeah, I think that's possible, because it was your teammate Sean Sharif that went on the air a few months ago with something that I had heard.
Oh no, I
similar.
I went on air during the season and got roasted for some of the things that I heard, and I know Sean and I aren't talking to the same guys.
I think there are guys on the team that just, they want to do football. Like, they've been around a long time. They want to win the Super Bowl. They want to do football. So when you have the young guys that carry themselves as if they've already done it all and seen it all. And like Micah said out loud, like I've been in this league a long time. I've seen it all. And he said that, I believe, after his second year. And it was like, what? Like, I don't think he's everybody's favorite in the locker room. And I also think I don't care. And I bet a lot of them, once we line up, they don't care. They're like, yay, Micah, go sack the quarterback. But I'm sure he's not everybody's favorite. And I don't know if he cares either, which probably won't help the situation. But I don't know. I don't know that it's that big of a deal. Everybody on football teams aren't best friends. Everybody's not everybody's favorite in the locker room. So I could see that the way Micah carries himself as if he's, done it all, seen it all, am the best, wasn't my fault, that could annoy people. And then what they should do is go, man, that's annoying. And then wait until Sunday and be like, all right, kick ass, Micah.
Go get a Micah. don't think it's going to be a problem in the locker room. I do feel like you're dealing with a very sensitive player, though.
For sure.
Yeah, when players tell you we don't read, we don't hear, they're lying to you. Because when I was in the front office, I read, heard everything that you and others were saying, Todd Archer. And there were a lot of times where I'd be driving along and I would go, they're damn right. They're right about what they're saying here, and I would agree. I really would. But players hear everything that is said about them. Nobody, this is why I think a reason that why if the Dak Prescott deal doesn't get done, that Dak Prescott might be willing to walk away. Just because every morning he puts on a brave face. He takes the arrows after every game. He's the one guy that stands up there and talks. And I think that if he had to, he'd say, hey, does this really bother you? He would, and if you pulled him aside, playing a couple holes of golf with him, he would say, man, I'm human. What do I have to do? What do I have to do not to have the scrutiny every day on me? And you would say, well, winning a championship would help. And he goes, well, there's a lot of quarterbacks that don't win championships that play at a very high level, which he has. But I think that if Dak Prescott, if you got him on that golf course, he would tell you, listen, I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. He'll say, hey, it's part of being a quarterback. It's part of this, But if he could go to Tampa or some other place where he's not having to be on ESPN every single morning or leading off talk shows, 3 shows in a row, there's a side of me that believes he would probably do that. And because nobody wants to hear anything negative about. Heck, you and I opened the show today talking about people that sometimes aren't happy with us for 6-7 minutes, and you read the comments and you're very mindful of that. You're like, okay, I don't want to piss people off. I want to do a good show here with Jeff today. But, that's like with Micah, he hears everything.
Yeah, and we're human. We hear the negative more than we hear the positive.
105.3, Jeff, you and I used to work together. I can't read that text. I don't want those people to wreck my day. I'm all about mental health, and that mental health is not good sometimes when the people, the comments and stuff that you get. But anyway, that's, like I say, I like your answer, though, about it. Jeff, do you feel like training camp and preseason games will be enough to get a read on Trey Lance?
No. I think we've seen.
But that's where we're at, right? Aren't we?
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know that I need a read on Trey Lance. Like, I have now reached the point where you're going into the last year of a contract for a guy.
Yeah.
That.
So with Trey Lance as well.
Is right. That's what I'm talking about. Is Trey?
Yeah. I'm talking about Dak too. Yeah.
But that's never really
Cooper
been
Rush.
an NFL starter, and they traded a 4th-round pick for a guy that I just don't think is ever going to play football for them. And after this year, he'll go somewhere else and he'll move on. Yeah. Do I think it would be fun because we do Cowboys content if Trey Lance lit the world on fire in preseason and then the Joneses were like, hey, maybe after this year we do. I think it would be fun, but I don't think we're going to learn much because we've watched a lot of preseason football. I can watch the way a guy runs. I can watch the way a guy beats a DB, but unless you get teams that are going out there and throwing everything at you, I don't think you'd learn much about a quarterback because they just kind of play basic out there.
Yeah.
So I hope he succeeds. If he doesn't succeed, that might tell you something about him.
Yeah.
If he really struggles in a world where people are keeping it pretty basic, then you'd be like, oh, that's not good. I look forward to seeing him play a bunch. I hope that the fact that they made a trade for a guy who once upon a time was a top 3 pick, I hope that guy can beat out Cooper Rush. I hope.
Yeah.
But if not, that's cool. Whatever.
I don't know the dynamics of this, but I'm thinking because of the way the 3rd quarterback rules are, if he doesn't show up in camp well, do you carry a 3rd quarterback? I mean, if you need the spot, all of a sudden you got to, your tight ends show up. The receivers show up. Wow, there's that tackle I don't want to part with.
He was He's got a first round contract. I bet it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like I think he's getting 8.5 or something this year. And
I don't even know. That's why I'm just throwing it out as roster spots. But it might be you wouldn't do anything with him likely. You wouldn't.
No,
but,
he'll be here.
But I wonder if we need this spot. Where are we going? What are we going to do if But anyway, yeah. I kind of feel like this is going to be the crash course. The advantage that the Joneses in the front office have over us right now is they have access to what he did all last year.
Right.
So maybe in their eyes, they're going to have a better evaluation of Trey Lance than what you and I will have in Oxnard. That they've seen him all year, last year, after practice, those kinds of things. That will be their evaluation. I can't believe that they would force this. But there's a side of me that's thinking that, like, if he's good enough and he looks good enough, that they just let Dak walk. And I can't. It's hard to wrap your.
I muted. Good luck, man. If that's your plan, good luck.
Well, no, that's we don't want to pay a quarterback $60 million. I agree with you. This isn't Dak's fault, by the way. The $60 million thing. It's not his fault. It is the going rate for quarterbacks, but the way that the Cowboys chose to negotiate this has put them in this thing. I never blame a player for making money. I never do.
No. They did this by not getting a deal done sooner.
It wasn't Tyron Crawford's fault he got paid.
Yeah.
It wasn't Terrence Steele's fault he got paid. It wasn't Michael Gallup's fault he got paid. No, it's not. Just the way they negotiate things. So
no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a capable quarterback that doesn't make any money because the salary cap is a real thing. I would love to have that. That would be wonderful. It's real hard to walk away from one of the 5, 6, 7 best quarterbacks in football, and I think you'd be crazy too.
I understand.
And I'm a psycho. Because here's the thing. Like how many young-ish quarterbacks in the NFL have won Super Bowls? Like none.
It's
hard.
Mahomes when he started,
right?
But when he started out,
but like the guys in the league that have won Super Bowls are what? Russ, Rodgers, Stafford got one.
Yeah,
Mahomes. Is Flacco technically still playing football? I don't know. It's not a bunch of them, and so now I don't understand why people want to nitpick so hard through I think you just hyper focus on your guy,
right?
Like Justin Herbert hasn't won a playoff game, and Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten far enough, and Josh Allen ain't won a Super Bowl, and blah, 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 blah. I'm the psycho that I say if over the course of 16, 17 games, you are regularly one of the 5, 6, 7 best quarterbacks in football, and we keep winning double-digit games every time you're healthy, and we win the division, and we go to the playoffs, I'm the psycho who says, okay, go try again. Go try again. As opposed to this is awful. We must change everything. I'd say, no. I got a good quarterback. We win a bunch of games. Go try again.
Yeah. I totally understand, but I think if there's an organization that's not going to pay a quarterback $60 million, it could be this one because their jobs aren't on the line.
Yeah.
I believe that all along. I mean, you and I, if we worked at Tampa or the Jets, and our livelihood depends on. I will say this, though. When I was in the league 20 years ago, it's a lot easier now to find a quality quarterback than it was 20 years ago. Nobody was going to give you a quarterback. Now you can go get Aaron Rodgers. Now you can go get Matthew Stafford. Now you can go get Goff. You can go get a quarterback. Baker Mayfield, you can go get a guy. 20 years ago, you couldn't go get a guy. Nobody was going to give you a guy. And that, a lot has changed. So if you're going to make the decision of moving on from Dak Prescott, the thing that you can hope is that there's the Geno Smiths and those kinds of people of the world that you can bridge until you find a quarterback. It's a crazy way of doing things, but this team might do that. Jeff. Dak Prescott's interception numbers will be higher because he's asked to throw the ball more due to a lack of a running game.
Higher than last year. I could see it.
I think the over and under for him this year is 11.5 from Vegas.
Okay, that's a good number. Last year he threw 9.
Yeah.
Before that 15. Before that 10.
The 15 is what got him in trouble with the world.
And the 15 came because they didn't have anybody who could get open. And
that's very fair. There's probably 7 of those that are not his fault. But the question I'm asking you, and whether it's his fault or not his fault, will the interception numbers be up because he's asked to throw more because of no running game? If
yes.
there's no running game, yeah.
Yes. I think that they will be, I think he'll probably throw 11, 12, 13 picks because I think
he's having to throw the ball more because
right. And his receiving core has not gotten better. It may have gotten worse. His offensive line probably has gotten worse. And if you're into Pro Football Focus, I was having fun looking through their position. Like they're just ranking every position group on all the teams.
Oh, yeah.
The Cowboys running back group they have
32.
is 32.
32.
32. So, you're probably not going to be able to lean on the run game. We'll see what you get protection-wise from your offensive tackles and your center. You didn't get better with the weapons. There is a lot on number 4 this year. There is a lot on Dak. And, I think it'll result in more interceptions. It won't result in him not playing good quarterback. But it'll result in more probably.
Yeah, I kind of feel like with the over being 11.5, that could be the number.
I think the number. I think it's the right number. I think he'll throw 11 or 12.
Yeah, he could throw 15, and we'll also look at the number of attempts, and we'll go. He had to throw. What do you want him to do? This might be the way of, like, he throws the ball far more. I can't even give you a number, but all of a sudden they can't run. They can't run. They have to generate offense, and now they put it on him, and then they put it on these receivers, and nobody other than Ferguson and Lamb are getting open. If they want to keep throwing the slant to Cooks like they did against Green Bay, Jair Alexander is going to intercept the ball every time.
Yeah. So I have a hard time thinking that the Jones family is so dumb's a mean word. But like it feels. Here's what it feels like. It feels like a setup. It feels like we didn't upgrade your receiving core. We didn't long term. I think we're upgrading your offensive line, and they're going to have a good line going into the future.
Yeah.
But for the moment, we didn't upgrade your offensive line. We downgraded your backfield. You're in the last year of your contract. It feels like a setup for him to not play as well as he did a year ago so that they could walk away from him. It's hard for me to think they're that dumb, but that's the way it feels.
What about this, Jeff? What if the flip side is
to drive his number down? It's not possible. He has too much of a track record. Like he's getting quarterback market money. That's what he's getting. He got it last time with a leg that was snapped in half.
Do you think other teams, do you think if he shines, he gets paid? If he doesn't shine, the teams back away?
Yeah, if he shines, he gets 60. If he sucks, he gets 50.
Yeah. But does he get 50 from Dallas?
I think so. I think that at the end of the day, it's
a hot dog.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when he hits the open market, if he hits the open market, they will pay right around what the open market would pay to keep him. Because that is the Cowboy way, to get right up to the edge and then give everything they were asking for. You just waited as long as you could and hurt your team.
The cavemen. The front office is affectionately known as the cavemen.
Yes, and then they cave. And then we do the same thing with CeeDee, and then we do the same thing with Micah. And
there's people that believe CeeDee's deals. David Hellman, our buddy from Fox Sports, David Hellman believes that they're going to get 2 weeks into training camp.
That sounds about right for the caveman, especially if he doesn't show. If he doesn't show, yeah, it'll get done. CeeDee should be the easiest one. The market is clear.
How
His place in the market is clear.
How hard is this one? This is the one Jerry talks about, the leaves falling on the tree, off the tree.
Yeah.
This is the one where the most leaves have fallen off the tree.
Right.
The
The market is set. You know exactly what it is. And you know that CeeDee sits at the very top of it. So like if they are arguing about something right now, what they're arguing about is, I want $1 more than Justin Jefferson. And the Cowboys are like, we want you to take 1 million less than Justin Jefferson. And it's like, just get the deal done.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I kind of think I like what Dave's saying. Dave, we all have a history of this. It's the Ezekiel Elliott, Zach Martin kind of deal, where all of a sudden we're 10 days into Oxnard and, hey, we got a deal done. You know, Todd Archer breaks. Or something like that happens. Jeffrey, Mike Zimmer's scheme will eliminate big plays, but it will not yield as many turnovers.
100%.
Will the
100%.
fan base be good with that?
That'll depend on the outcome. It'll depend on how many games they win. But I think that is one of the great debates of football. The Dan Quinn defense for years and years and years, boy, there's so many plays made in the backfield. There's so many sacks. There's so many interceptions and pick sixes. And these are game-changing plays. You want these desperately. I think they're going to have less game-changing plays, and they're going to give up less 14-yard runs, and they're going to give up less bombs, and you're just going to try to play a steadier form of defense than what we've seen before. Ultimately, I think this team is on paper. I think this team is a little worse than the team was last year. Mm-hmm. So I think your results will probably be a little bit worse than they were last year, which means people won't like it. Yeah. It'll be, man, where did all my pick sixes go? Like those, that's how we could be winning some of these football games. Maybe he can find the balance.
I think the fan base, I think when you and I are doing these shows during the season, and I think we're going to see a lot of people complaining about where the turnovers, why are they not turning. And Zimmer will tell you, I know I've been on plenty of platforms. I think I even said it on this one, that Zimmer's saying, hey, listen, I'm not going to give up big plays, but I might not have the turnovers. I just wonder if the fan base is going to be okay with that. I wonder if the fan base is going to say, well, damn, we're not getting the ball. Where are the pick sixes? Bland should have 7 interceptions by now. He's got 2. Diggs has got 3. He should have 6.
Here's the other thing, though.
I'm hearing the fan base. If the players are hearing us talk, I'm hearing the fan base talk right now.
I think also, though, the players and who they are is part of this.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to turn off in Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland the aggressive, borderline guessing,
reckless
in situations that leads to some of those things. I don't think you're going to be able to take that out of those guys. Deron Bland on 3rd and 6.
You're going to jump a route.
He's jumping that thing.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs on 3rd and 6 is jumping that thing.
Yeah.
They'll have them. They probably won't have as many, but they'll have them.
Where are you, by the way? Speaking of fandom, where are you on the you say something clipped and tagged at that player? Where are you on that?
It's an annoyance. I don't care that much, but I won't go out of my way to block whoever did it. Sure. It's words I said. You want to tag the player? That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I'm an adult. If that player then responds, I'll be like, yeah, there was 5 minutes before that. I think we talk about all of you in a balanced way. I'm not out to get any football player. So it's annoying, but whatever.
Had a Diggs situation like that. Yes.
Somebody clipped audio and tagged him.
Well, they said, I hate Diggs. I don't hate Diggs.
Oh yeah. That's just people being dumb like that. Yeah. I may block somebody for that. Yeah. If it's not an audio thing, it's just somebody not accurately Diggs, saying what I've said. And then
at Diggs, Bryan Broaddus hates at Diggs.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. That'd probably get you good blocking. I like to block. I'm a good blocker.
blocker.
I know how. Yeah.
Yeah, you answered all my questions. What questions you have for me?
Okay, I have
two questions. Give me 1 or 2 questions.
Okay. Here's my first question.
Is it the hot dog question?
No.
Okay.
If I won't let you ride the fence
I'm not going to
at
ride the
all,
fence. I'm not going to ride the fence.
there are only 2 answers to this question: good, bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys' offensive line this year will be, and it has to be good or bad.
I'm going to say it's going to be good.
I like that.
I have concerns, but I think it's going to be good. I worry about the learning curve at the left tackle.
Yep.
I think Steele, the year removed from the knee, better. I think Zach Martin sees this as his last campaign. I think he's going to be ready to rumble. I do think Cooper Beebe is going to beat out Brock Hoffman. I've said before.
I don't believe that you believe that. You've been Brock Hoffman and me for weeks.
No, that's the O-line coach. The O-line coach, I was worried the O-line coach ain't going to let that happen. He still might. I think when we get to camp, Brock Hoffman is not going to look as good as Cooper Beebe. And I think Mike Solari is going to have a hard time selling that to the front office. But he could. Now this is if you get the head coach involved, and will the head coach side with the line coach, and will the Joneses acquiesce to the head coach? But if Cooper Beebe plays better than Brock Hoffman, and you could see it every single day, Mike Solari doesn't have a leg to stand on, even though I think he wants Brock Hoffman to be the guy. This thing is going to come down to, to me, is going to come down to, I'm not as worried about the left tackle as I am center if Brock Hoffman starts. That's me.
Okay.
So I think that it scares me. It scares me because I've been in rooms before where coaches have got their way. There was times where, you saw what happened with Tyler Smith. It took Tyron Smith ripping his damn muscle off his leg for him to get in the lineup. Coaches will do that. They will say, "Hey, can we afford to play with 2 rookie? We do know this team's really good with plug and play first round offensive linemen, but I think there will be a learning curve with Guyton." I
do too. I do too, but
I don't think this group is going to be bad because I think three of them can carry the other 2.
And I guess that's kind of what I'm looking for in the answer to that question, because I think.
But don't let an injury happen.
Right. Oh no.
Don't let an injury happen.
Unless it's to the center, and then you feel like you have maybe 2 of them.
But I think the best replacement guy you have is TJ Bass. And if Beebe doesn't start, well, Beebe could be a guy too. But don't let an injury happen to a tackle. But that might be kick Tyler Smith somewhere. Kick Tyler Smith into the tackle role, which I don't think they want to do, but I would consider it. So not riding the fence, I will say they will be good.
I like it because I think that comes down to, like, we have the givens, right? The givens are the left guard and the right guard are really good.
Yeah.
And if you think that you can get capable or better play
out of the
from
right
2 of the other 3, then I think you say good. And if
Yeah.
you think that number is I can get capable play from 1 of 3, then I think the answer is bad.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that maybe if Beebe starts at center, then my concern becomes the left tackle. That's where I would work.
Yeah, I think
I mean concern in a way of, okay, man, here we go. It's gonna be rough some of these games, but we all kind of thought the same thing with Tyler Smith. He's gonna hold every play. He's gonna do. We kind of thought the same thing. So
I think week one, Zeke's going to play a lot because week one is the Cleveland MF and Browns, and Myles Garrett's going to line up across from your left tackle, and really good left tackles can't block Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of tight ends on the left. You're going to see a lot of Zeke Elliott in the game to help on Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think then, and if they can't run the ball against the Browns in week one, that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to be, how can you space Myles Garrett away from Dak? And I mean space with splits, tight into that side, wing to that side, chipper to that side, all those things. Because and if that's the case, you're going to have to win all the other one-on-one battles. And Dallas is capable of doing that.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the end of the broadcast. Let me just make sure that I know where the right button is for this one.
Let me ask you this something real quick, if I could, before we end this thing.
Start the day picking it up.
Yeah. Do you agree with or do you think it's going to be bad?
I lean to good because I think, again, given left guard, right guard are going to be outstanding.
Right.
I believe you will get.
Yes.
I believe you'll get capable center play.
Yes.
And I believe you will get capable play from at least one of the tackles.
Yeah. They will, if they run the ball better, the offensive line will be fine. It'll be the tight ends that allow them to run this ball. It's somebody steps up, and maybe it doesn't have to be Ferguson. And, whatever tight end. I mean, I don't have to say Schoonmaker. Whatever tight end figures out that they can point of attack block, because that was something that wasn't very good last year. So
all right,
they figure it out. Maybe they run the ball a little bit better too.
That's an unnamed show from Jeff and Brian. Check out Bryan Broaddus, of course, on 105.3 The Fan, the Love of the Star podcast, and with Voch Lombardi on Fridays, with me on Thursdays, all over the place.
That show's called We're Doing Fine.
We're Doing Fine?
That's the name of the show. We're Doing Fine, because we get right into it.
Oh, okay. Which one's that?
That's the one me and Voch.
Oh, you guys get right into it.
You dick around. We get right into it. So it's the name of the show is We're Doing Fine.
Okay. So to all of you people out there that have a problem with the way that this show starts.
What do you mean, you people?
I don't care.
Don't care.
Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through. Be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy. Brian, say something super catchy.
Be well, friends.
Oh,